What are your expectations for the Nets this season? How do you see it playing out for their big three?
I think health plays a big factor in here. Both Kyrie and, as of recently, Kevin Durant have some history. And if they can stay healthy, they are going to be tough to beat, chemistry or not, because at the end of the day, all of those guys are capable of taking over a game, hitting big shots, and essentially beating a team to some degree on their own. So, chemistry or not, they're going to be tough to beat. They will. It's going to take a lot of uh, uh, team defense in order to beat those guys. And I don't know if there's any team, particularly in the East, that is capable of stopping all three of those guys. Because again, you stop one, there's another one coming. And if you stop him, there's a third one coming. All of these guys, well, two of them, MVP caliber players. Kyrie is right outside of that box. So it's going to be tough to beat them. I do believe that they will come out the East, given that they stay healthy.
I disagree. One,
Wow.
one, I'm the biggest Kyrie stan in the world. What? I think Kyrie's going to shoot himself in the foot.
Mm.
I don't think Kyrie finishes this season. So we're just going to start there. I don't know if Kyrie comes back. Like, deep down, I feel like Kyrie is going to feel a certain type of way that James Harden is now in the picture. I don't see Kyrie being able to be the number 3 guy. I don't think that's possible. And then I don't think there's enough basketball in the world for KD, Harden, and Kyrie if Kyrie does decide to come back. James Harden has proven that he can get a ball up, but I don't think James Harden is really efficient or effective unless he has the ball in his hands. Kyrie isn't effective unless he has the ball in his hands. That is just it's too much.
I'm a little conflicted by that though, because initially preseason I picked Milwaukee when it was just Kyrie and KD. I didn't think that was enough to make it out. But given now that James Harden plays for them, they definitely it's finals or bust. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to make it out the East for them. I still have Milwaukee as my sleeper to make it out the East. I don't know why, man. I just really believe in that 3 they got there. But you look at the offensive firepower and you look at the lack of talent in the East, like it's a no-brainer. Like they have to come out the East or it's a bust. But I'm also with Kay. Like, does Kyrie even finish the year? I don't know if Kyrie even finishes the season, man. Like, he's got a lot going on, and I'm not gonna go too much into the slander of Kyrie. But I hope he's okay. I hope Kyrie is okay, man. For real. All jokes aside, I hope he's okay, man. I hope he's doing all right, man. Because like, you talk about like, think about, we all play sports, man. You talk about one of your key guys, man. Like, you rely on your key guys night in and night out, and for them not to show up is kind of like, a slap in your face. Like, you know what I mean? Like, are we not in this together? So if I'm a teammate, I'm definitely looking at that perspective. But at the same time, I think they'll figure it out. They got too much talent. They got to come out the East. I don't see them still being better than, the king over there in the West, but
Yeah.
They definitely have to come out the East for sure.
I do agree with that. They do have to come out the East, or I feel like KD and Harden get slandered if they don't.
I agree with AJ.
I'm not adding Kyrie because Kyrie, I don't know if he comes back.
I agree with AJ. It's finals or bust at the end of the day. What do I pick them to come out the finals? Come out the East? Yes. I agree with y'all as far as there's not enough basketball in the world, especially with Kyrie being the isolation guy. KD has showed us that he can play team ball when he went over there to Golden State. Harden,
isolation.
It's kind of iffy with him because he showed us that he likes playing pick and roll ball and isolation ball.
He's isolated.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, his numbers, he shows they can share the ball. He just like Trey said, he had 14 assists. At the end of the day, 14 assists is 14 assists. You're sharing the ball. But personally, like AJ said, it's finals or bust. Do I pick them to come out the East? Yes. I do like Milwaukee a lot. Like you said, that 3 up there is doing amazing things. I also like what Miami had last year. At the end of the day, I think those 3 do put it together and get to the finals and lose to the King in the finals. I do. They're not going to win the finals, but they will. They will lose to LeBron. to the.
Let me ask y'all this though. How do y'all feel about this legacy kind of move? Because you know what I'm saying. James Harden just formed a big three over in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like a real big three, not like a star and like 2 all-stars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, this is
a
like
legit big three. Yeah,
this is a real
big
3-headed monster again, similar to the Miami situation, and the Golden State situation. So, does this hurt their legacy? You know what I'm saying? Like, does this hurt James Harden's legacy? I know he's not at the level of a KD or LeBron in terms of, you know, greatest of all time, but even like a KD, like. He joined the Warriors, which I still have some weird feelings about that. And now he's got a massive team over in Brooklyn, where I thought beginning of the season with just him and Kyrie was a great chance to kind of, you know, carry a team on his own, you know, clean slate, avoid all that kind of backlash. And now that he had James Harden, it's like, no, you have to win. And now that even when he does win, is it still going to hurt his legacy as far as like, okay, you won because you got these guys on your team. You know what I mean? What do y'all think?
I
don't
think
think
it hurts KD.
I don't think he cares. I don't think neither.
Well, yeah,
of them
we know we don't. Yeah, of course they don't.
I don't think either of them care. Personally, do they hurt their legacy to me? I mean,
it hurts
personally,
KD.
I don't think it do. Well,
it's going to hurt KD legacy.
It probably hurt KD legacy because this is KD's second time doing it. But as far as James Harden, this is his first time really creating a super team. I mean, when he was down in Houston, of course, he had Chris Paul, he had Russell Westbrook. I mean, they accommodated for him in Houston, but they really didn't put a super team around him. And I think that's just the trend that's going on in the NBA. People want to create super teams and people want to go get a ring. I don't think they care personally. I think to them it's just basketball. But at the end of the day, to me, KD legacy hurt more from it. But Kyrie showed us that, and I hate to say it, Kyrie showed us he can't win the championship being the man. Yep. I mean, he went to Boston, and we saw what went down in Boston.
Yeah, that's pretty well known. No, that's pretty well known.
I mean, same thing with Harden.
So it really just, I guess you could say it's a blemish on James Harden's legacy. But I'll say this: if they lose in the finals, it's a big blemish. If they don't make it to the finals, that's going to be the only thing we talk about. Also,
well, Trey, you remember James Harden had them boys with KD in a Game 7 at home and shot abysmal from 3. You know what I'm saying? Him and KD both had a chance to kind of do their, you know what I mean? Carry a team, win a championship on their own without, you know what I'm saying? KD being up 3-1 in OKC, and now James Harden had a Game 7 against the KD Warriors when they had a great chance to win that game. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm not mistaken, he was up 3-2. He was up 3-2 against the Warriors. If I'm not mistaken.
He was up 3-2.
That's when Game 6 Clay came out. Right,
Chris Paul got hurt.
Chris Paul went down. Chris Paul got hurt. Yeah.
So he was
now they joined. They joined the team. So they have to win. If they don't win, it's like, to me, I don't know about y'all, but this just shows the separation of LeBron James to me. Like when you look at this decade, since we've been watching basketball, like the only player from this generation on Mount Rushmore is LeBron James. I feel like losing their supporting cast hurt them a lot too. Like, they made me put in James Harden, but Karis LeVert, obviously they lost him to a trade, and then Spencer Dinwiddie tearing his ACL hurts. But you're losing a lot of guys that you need in that second unit, and you need to kind of carry those lows when, you know, guy like James Harden want to take a night off or something like that, or Kyrie want to, you know, do his own thing. Whatever he got going on.
But isn't that the stigma with big threes? Once you create a big three, you really don't have a supporting cast. You're banking on that big three showing up every night.
Yeah, you're definitely
like, that's facts. Let's be real. What big three has had a great supporting cast that we can remember in recent memory? I think the Warriors is the best one that comes to mind, and that supporting cast wasn't all that amazing. I mean, that's just the best.
Are you talking
Sean Livingston?
Are you talking before KD?
Dollar.
Huh? You said what?
Harrison Barnes.
KD.
I'm talking about they had a great support. That was a great team. That was
Miami had a great team too. Miami had a great role player.
Shane Battier,
I think with big three, as far as an NBA, you have to have a team that everybody understand their role.
Do the Nets even have enough defense to win the championship? Because the Lakers are the number 1 in defense.
I think that regardless, both James Harden and Kevin Durant have shown flashes that they can play defense when they need to. Kevin Durant, like, the past couple years, of course, before his Achilles, there was some buzz around him being Defensive Player of the Year in a couple of those years at some point during the season. James Harden, particularly in the playoffs last year, showed that he can step up and play defense. So while they're not the best defensive team, also, DeAndre Jordan's still down in the paint, and he's older and a step slower, but like that's still a big body down there. Okay,
that's a big
liability.
That's a big body.
He's a liability.
Big liability.
Regardless, what I'm saying here is that just generally speaking, they will have some issues on defense, but I think they have so much offensive firepower that it's not going to be that detrimental to the success of the team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was just about to say I don't think they necessarily have enough defense to win, but they have more than a hell of enough offense to win. You know what I'm saying? So you got no answer for AD. I don't care who you are. That's the guy who we saw last year was the X factor. You know what I'm saying? There's no answer on both ends of the floor. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, when you got a guy in James Harden, KD, and Kyrie who can all get 40, you know what I'm saying? Literally all get 40. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a tough defensive out for the Lakers too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the Lakers are gonna have their way of going things too. Like KD is unguardable. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that even with the Achilles, he's only gonna get better. James Harden is James Harden. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be more of an offensive firepower for the Nets than it is gonna be a defensive game for him. So that's how I think.
I'm gonna go with no. I think defense wins championships. Honestly, I really do believe that. Because it's not going to always be your night. I hate defense. And even I can tell you, like, to win a championship, I think it's going to be really, really hard to depend on strictly offense to win a championship. Like, that is very hard. You know what I mean? Like, yes, KD, Kyrie.
We'll say it's not one guy they got to rely on. 3 guys are going to have
they got 3 of them.
7
games. But I'm saying
they got 3 of them.
True, but, like, let's say KD starts off the game 0 for 4. Right? You feel me? KD ain't gonna stop shooting. It ain't like, all right, I'm gonna give it to Harden. Like, Harden, it's my night. I'm off tonight. KD ain't gonna say that. You know what I mean? He gonna keep shooting. You know what I mean? Like,
KD's a guy where he doesn't have to shoot every time down the court. He can get it when he's fit. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I probably should say Harden or Kyrie.
That's why they're going to be good because KD doesn't need the ball in his hands. KD can get a smooth 25 and take 13 shots. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think just offense going to be able to get it, though. I really don't. To win a championship, I'm not talking about getting to the finals. I'm talking about having a great, record. Like, to win a championship, 7-game series, somebody going to have to play some defense.
I'm not going to let you get away with this. Hold on. I'm not letting you get away with this. You're not going to bring up defense. Kalen Willis is not going to bring up defense.
Come on, championship.
Listen to me. You're not going to bring up defense and say Draymond is trash. That did not go together. That does not go together.
Draymond is terrible.
Yo, first of all, that should have been a discussion because Lil Trey and K need to be arrested for that, man. Arrested for that, man.
I'm saying Draymond is trash.
Draymond is terrible.
Draymond is not trash.
I cannot deny.
He's been the
We're going to save that. Hold on, guys. We're going to save that for the next debate. So anyone is tuning in right now, next debate, we're going to talk about Draymond Green's impact on the Warriors. We thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.